Hello there guys. In one of my previous videos, I made a video about the Synology ds216 Plus II, which was the NAS that I used for quite a while. And recently, a few months ago, I upgraded to the Synology ds218, and I thought I'd take a moment to talk about it. So my old Synology, the ds216, was slowing down sometimes, especially during backups, and if I was streaming something, like if I was watching a movie, and then if there was something happening, like a system task going on in the background, sometimes you'd get a little bit of stutter. So I decided to upgrade it, and the NAS that I upgraded it with is the ds218. The reason being is that it's still very cheap. You can get it for quite cheap, and it's still fairly powerful. It's powerful enough for what I need it for. And also I needed to run a VM, a fairly light VM, but the 216 just wasn't cutting it. So this Synology ds218 Plus was released in 2018. And officially it supported up to 6 gigabytes of RAM, I believe. So I've done an upgrade on this, and I've upgraded to 16 gigabytes. And I can confirm that it will use the full 16 gigabytes, contrary to what some people may say online. Some people say, oh, they're not too sure if it will use beyond 8. It definitely uses 16 if you give it 16. And the RAM is fairly cheap. It's DDR3, so you can get it for pretty cheap, and you might as well just, at least throw 8 gigs in it, but 16 maybe even, and it works fine. In terms of the CPU performance you're going to get from this 218, it's around about 24% improvement from the 216, which I did a video on previously. And around a 45% increase on multi-core speed. So for me, it works perfectly. I only run one VM, and I run Docker containers, but they're not heavy or anything. They're very light, or idle a lot of the time. And I just don't need some crazy, $500 NAS that can do everything and has like 4 cores. It just is completely unnecessary for me. So, I may end up regretting those words one day, but yeah, for me the ds218 Plus works fine for now. It works perfectly fine for me. So, I just don't need a massive NAS with like loads of CPU power. So the ds218 Plus is still receiving security updates, and it will probably receive security updates for quite some time, for quite a few more years. Even the 216 is still receiving security updates. I don't know for how much longer, but yeah, so you're definitely fine getting the 218 if you prefer buying like a used NAS rather than a brand new ARM NAS, because you could just buy a brand new NAS. Like if your budget is say 200 or 250, if you're buying a NAS now and your budget is say 250, you're probably going to be limited to ARM units, whereas you could get one of these Intel units, like this 218, and you could throw a full 16 gigabytes of RAM in. And in my opinion, that is way better than a brand new ARM unit that might only have like 1 or 2 gigabytes of RAM or whatever, and you're limited to ARM stuff, and it's just not as good. Whereas on this, you spend maybe 200, maybe 175, maybe even 150. You can get one of these with the full 16 gigs of RAM if you want to upgrade it yourself, all for a total budget of 150, 175, maybe 200 tops. I know that you can even get a ds718, which is even more powerful, and will also support 16 gigs if you throw enough at it, or even possibly the ds220, maybe ds220 Plus. You could get a ds220 Plus for around about 200 right now. I think they went up in price a little bit. As for how to upgrade these units with the unofficial amount of RAM, I'm not going to show you with this, but if you check my previous video, there is some footage of me disassembling the whole unit and doing the upgrade. You need to upgrade both the front. On the 218, you need to. There's 2 slots on the 218, so you need to upgrade both the front slot, and there's a slot that's hidden behind the main board on this 218. On a 216, it's slightly different. There is no user upgradable RAM at all anyway. I don't think. I can't remember. Anyway, it's in my old video. Yeah, so that's my little video about the 218 Plus Synology NAS. And it's the NAS that I'm still happy with. Been using it for a few months now. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. So yeah, so I'll see you in the next video.